I just see
It's okay,
food.
my work husband. It's okay.
You and I see food, and we both get very excited. You'd think we're both only children, but it's actually just me. So, my kitchen rules, 2 of the home cooks with us again. Not allowed to say chefs. I've Googled you, by the way.
And?
People are loving what they're seeing.
Really?
So, but you're not chefs, you're not full-time cooks. Why would you put yourselves through this?
Good question. It's a dream. Everything starts with a dream.
Yeah. You're inspiring us, though. We need to try out, also not just cooking, but plating, because you eat with your eyes first. And I mean, it's a whole thing, right? So can we have some, dessert while we're talking? Are we allowed to? Are you ready? Please give us some, and then we can just...
We are so excited.
So how do we judge this for MKR? What are we supposed to pick up on? Style, plating? How do we do this?
Yes, the aesthetic of this is very impressive. I actually don't want to decimate it with my spoon.
Do you give
Because I'm going to attack it now with ferocious
Do you have a
intent.
preferred way you like your strawberries served?
Look at this, bro.
Most welcome.
Oh, wow, that actually is very good. Hang on a second. Do we have... Where's one of our cameras? Can we get camera 6?
I'm going to dig in while you show the
I don't want to tip this over. Where's our camera 6? I'm going to show you what it looks like. Oh, I've gone and tipped it over. So, competitively, though, you were saying off-air, you guys have done work for one of the most well-known chefs in the country. Is that the dream for both of you, to go and become chefs, or is this just a phase?
Well, actually, yes. We'd actually like to become restaurateurs. So this was the beginning of it all, to meet people within the industry.
And how's it going so far?
It's going fine. I mean, I think we're having loads of fun watching ourselves on My Kitchen Rules. That's currently airing. So it's going really great. I mean, I think for us, because the winner gets to win $1 million, right?
Girl.
So all the more reasons for you to enter. But I mean, for us, it was really to have fun and to bond over our friendship, because we just went in as friends.
Aww.
And it's been an absolute amazing experience. We've loved it. We've loved making ourselves somewhat of a fool on TV.
You're doing well.
You've done,
But
nothing, you've done nothing of the sort.
That's what our friendship is about.
And it's all about
Well
the
done.
friendship and having fun.
Riaad,
Happy?
what's your opinion?
It's amazing.
Yeah. The flavors are so well balanced.
Oh, that's the lingo.
Balance. Is this where we're going now?
Yeah, the flavors are well balanced.
Riaad, anything else? So if you were voting for this out of 10?
It's got a bouquet.
Oh, look.
I don't even know what that means. It's very nice. I will order it again.
So if you were scoring it out of 10, how much would you give it?
9.76.
There we go.
The highest.
Well, the judges gave us a 9, guys, on this out of 10.
Oh, this is great.
This is why you need Riaad on the
Thank
show,
you.
by the way.
I love
Thank you
berries.
so much.
I love berries.
Ah,
It's a very
thank
good
you, ladies.
Are you a foodie, Riaad?
No.
Not at all?
No,
So is this
I
a-
eat food. I'm human. But, I mean, I'm not a foodie where things need to be prepared perfectly, but I do appreciate it. My family, quite they're a family of foodies. I'm not really. But
You just
so I appreciate,
And you benefit.
when they do it. But I mean, if I'm around, I'll just do the peanut butter toast.
Can I disturb your breakfast for a moment? Would you mind? I'm like one of those rude waiters
no problem.
coming over to talk about the tour as well, because if you just go and take a look at your year that you've had so far and so many of the online videos that you had, it's always the names that you give that I love. The one that stands out for me is, obviously, Degrees of Racism from earlier in the year. Then I was looking at the date Life Begins, that full show that you had on YouTube as well. I can't help but feel that date was just us coming out of lockdown, or am I reading too much?
Actually, no. Life Begins was related to me turning 40. So it was a show that I did before this tour. It's a tour related to me now. Okay, I'm feeling a little bit older, getting a bit grayer, but, I still have the mindset of a youthful, ambitious man trying to, make his mark in the world. And I just wanted to have a psychological declaration to the world that I'm just getting started. I don't know if that's true, but I'm just getting started. I'm going to go, and then there's a pandemic. There's a pandemic.
Yeah.
We had a movie, New Material, which is a sequel to Material, right? Which did very well. That was supposed to go out 2020. Yeah. No, we completed filming it in 2019. And then they said, it's going to go out in 2020. It's then, and nothing's going to stop it, Riaad. I still wanted to change and do some edits to the thing.
Yeah.
No, we can't. It has to come out. There's no problem. But then, like, somebody in China ate a bat or a pangolin or whatever, and then pandemic, everything was grinded to a halt.
Slow down, Trump. Can you go there as a comedian? Can you joke about the world of COVID-19?
Well, I have, you know, in a sense, but, you know, from also informative perspective. So during the pandemic, you know, I did a lot of videos on vaccinations and things like that, just to educate people about, you know, the origin of it and the science behind it. Because, you know, everything has been chaotically debated. And people don't know what the truth is because we are flooded with a deluge of information and we actually can't sift through it.
Right.
And I think that's a problem for everybody.
And I'll tell you why Gareth's question is so important, if you can go there. Are you now worried about a slap?
A slap?
Are you worried
Oh, a
about
slap.
a slap?
Oh,
as a comedian, are
Okay,
you
look,
worried?
That also affected me like deeply because I adore Will Smith. I just completed reading his book, and he has all these philosophies and little tidbits of information that I identify with, because almost every aspect of his book I identify with, just at a much lower level, right? But almost every aspect of it. So when he actually did that, I didn't realize how much I love Chris Rock, but I mean, I'm fully into Chris Rock's on Chris Rock's side.
Got you.
It's just like he was one of the formative voices for me as a stand-up comedian starting out. Jerry Seinfeld, Chris Rock. And when that happened, you know, like it just completely affected me.
Wow.
Deeply, because I love Will Smith so much. And I can't even look at I can't even see his videos anymore. Or
The same.
I used to love The Pursuit of Happiness, my favorite film. You know, I just recently also enjoyed the Williams sisters films.
It's changed a lot. I mean, he's got a new film coming out now, but
yes, Emancipation.
Emancipation. But people are just like, yeah. So I understand.
It's just the
impact.
authenticity. It just showed that, you know, this is the tough thing. Being a good person, or known to be a good person, and then do something bad, seems to be worse than being a bad guy and then doing something good.
That's so thought-provoking.
We'll talk about your tour and stuff. We'll get into a lot more detail of new material and all that when we come back in a few minutes. Because I love the question from T on that. A, did Chris go too far? Did he not read the room? Two, do you now self-censor yourself? Apart from being worried about a slap, do you now self-censor yourself? Let's start with Chris. Did he just go too far? Or?
I don't think he knew about alopecia, because you would know that would cause a problem. So I don't think he knew about it. I think it was just a throwaway joke, very basic joke about G.I. Jane, to be honest. And especially within the format of the Oscars. I don't think Chris Rock would be a bit edgy, but I really don't think he knew about that. And so with that in mind, I don't think he went too far. And also, but for me, it's just like the pageantry of the whole thing is that of kings and a jester, right? And you expect the people in the audience to behave as kings, right? Magnanimous.
Okay,
right?
okay.
Right? And the jester will do like foolish things. And we watch this because we want the jester to make fun of the kings,
right?
Bring them down.
Down, yes.
To show and to also communicate. Like otherwise, you know, if people just, you know, elevate their egos and the sense of self-importance, then you know everybody will overthrow them and slay them. You know.
So you haven't had to censor yourself.
I always censor myself because I perform for a Muslim audience.
Okay.
So from the start,
that's interesting.
You know, from the start, as the first Muslim comedian in South Africa, I started doing stand-up around the time that Pagad, you know, blew up was it Planet Hollywood, right? And it was sort of around that time that this idea came about that Muslims aren't funny. But we come from Cape Town and Muslims are funny. So it's all of a sudden I had identity issues. I was at university and like I started doing stand-up actually about that incident, you know, to challenge perceptions or stereotypes.
We're going to talk about that tour in a couple of minutes as well from now. Riaad Moosa with us also. Season 4, home cooks, 2 of them with us. I just feel like I don't want to be favoritist, though, because there are other teams.
There are.
But if this, what you guys have made this morning, is anything to go by, you already have our
Empty.
vote. It's empty already.
Empty.
You may have to get more. I don't know what else there is. We'll talk about what else there is when we come back in a couple of minutes. The Friday edition of GNT, Dr. Riaad Moosa with us, enjoying breakfast from My Kitchen Rules, Season 4.